Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm great, thanks, mate. How are you? This is the most time we've spent together. This week, I think, is the most time we've spent together. Probably in the last 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, we started the business where we talked a lot on the phone because we don't live together.
And then we've spent more time together because we're actually on jobs.
And then we don't see each
And then
other
we
for
don't
about
see each
3
other.
years.
Yeah, because we're so busy.
And now, just recently,
And now
we've done a couple of jobs recently.
We have. We had to go out and
That
do
was mad.
things, do work.
It felt really weird. In a good way.
I took a behind the scenes photo. We're at Anara Systems with John.
Oh yeah.
I took a photo of me and you behind cameras, like so rare.
On the job.
On
together.
the job. On the job.
Hey,
hi.
listen, as we expand, we can't do everything.
Welcome back to Making Video Your Business.
Thank you. Welcome back to you.
I wanted to ask you a question because it's one that we get asked a lot in training. It's one we get asked a lot by people who are existing and potential customers, right?
What is this question?
Okay, picture the scene. Da, 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 da. Okay, Matt has made a video.
I have.
Okay.
Thousands.
And I am thousands. And I am super proud of Matt. It's Matt's first video.
And you're my proud digital
parent?
I'm
a proud digital father.
Excellent.
Right? Matt's made his first video, right? And Matt has put his video on the internet.
I did.
What, Matthew, is the worst thing that can happen if you put your video on the internet?
Well, in my humble opinion, it is you go to check that juicy view counter and it says zilch.
Okay, so that is the true answer.
Because then people often ask us about, what's this ROI, Roy, going to be on this video? And now, as you said in previous podcasts, well, if you only post it once to one platform and never again, yeah.
Because Matt and Chris' original thought, not everyone's on the internet.
At the same time. Babs and John could be on a cruise.
So yeah, that is the worst thing that can really happen. But people do fear this thing that I'm going to talk to you about, which is a negative post, a negative comment.
Trolls or
trolls?
Yeah.
Okay. So, how likely is it that if you put a piece of professional video content onto the internet, how likely is it that you will have a load of negative shade thrown at you?
Is it, for context, on personal video or is it
business? Business.
Okay, so that question's erroneous because it doesn't actually matter.
No.
Normally, if we're talking LinkedIn, Facebook, for example, they are your profile will normally have your real name and a photo, not necessarily of you, it could be of the kids or a field of sunflowers or whatever you've chosen, but normally it's got your real name attached to it or your business name attached to it. So people are less likely to get all keyboard warrior and start warrior-like. Keyboard warrior-like.
That'll do.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They're normally doing it on X, formerly known as Twitter. That's still people are saying that in the press. It's been X for 2 years. Stop saying that.
I know.
Anyway, but
it's such a stupid name.
Yeah, because Joe Rogan asked Elon Musk when he had him on the third or second podcast episode. He said, "So when you had Twitter, people sent tweets. Now it's X. What do people do?" And I don't know whether this was just one of those huge. We missed that in the marketing meeting, but Elon Musk looked at him blankly. He was like, I don't know. X's? No, that doesn't sound right. And genuinely, no one in his whole business had thought about what not the abbreviation, but what the...
It's so weird. Twitter rebranding to X, would it be a bit like McDonald's changing the golden arches or Apple being called Orange?
I often think that. But it wouldn't be weird if they'd originally be called Orange.
No.
It'd be weird if they were called Apple.
So odd.
What's in a name? But I always say the Arctic Monkeys. Weird name for a band, but now they're mega famous.
Yeah,
totally cool name for a band. Yeah.
But yeah, so going back to the question though. So if you've posted on your platforms.
Yeah, so negativity. I mean, there's a few options. One, if it's late at night, they might have had a few falling over juices or a couple of lager shandies, Star Torreses, but
fighting juice.
Indeed, babe, bring me my string vest. I need to reply to this troll. No, but it's a case of if it's alcohol related or whatever, chances are they might have removed or erased the comment by the morning because they feel stupid when they wake up and they didn't really think about what they were saying. Secondly, kill them with kindness. If someone does post a derogatory comment on your platform, on your socials or whatever, even on your website, because, But just say, get back to them and just say, oh, hi, thanks for commenting. Because that, in a sneaky way, that'll really wind them up, because you're actually giving life to the video, or they're giving life to the video, because
They've commented.
by commenting on it, or not, I mean, I know you can't not like on Facebook now, but by doing anything to the post, even, especially leaving a comment, you're just giving the algorithm fuel, and it'll just start pushing. So it's actually the opposite of what they wanted to happen. Like, they're helping you push the video, which is amusing.
Yeah.
But no, it's a case of, hi, thanks for commenting on the video. Also, what really annoys them, we think, thank them for spending time watching your content, because if they're going to slag you off, they don't really want to give you any kind of time or attention. And
Thanks so much for watching all 35 minutes of this podcast.
Do you know what I mean? So that'll kill them quickly. But also, just ask them under the business name, what was it about the video that you didn't like? Is there anything that maybe you could give me as feedback that would, make you enjoy my content more? Or is there anything that I could produce content-wise that would be of use to you to turn you into a reviewer? So there's a couple of things there where you can totally keep you cool, and like Bruce Lee says, like, being calm is a superpower. The person that can stay calm the longest wins. And it's similar to this. You definitely don't, because it's business social media suicide, getting into a tete-a-tete, start slagging people off, start being personal and name calling, or just saying, what the hell do you know, you're a blah blah blah. Like, don't go down that route. That's specifically for Twitter or X, or even TikTok, or even the YouTube comments. They're the funniest, because within about 5 comments on a normal video, it descends into crazy, because people just start arguing the toss about anything, really. But yeah, so I'd say leave it till the morning, because if you've had a wine or a lager, your chances are you want to attack this, or sort of want to front up to this comment. Just leave it, give yourself some time to sleep and whatever, revisit in the morning. If the comment's gone, the comment's gone. Get on with your day.
So I would say, I don't read the comments anyway, but unless it's a constructive.
Yeah, constructive's good.
But we've had very few comments ever that have been. I think we've had a couple of negative ones. There was one that stood out. There was a lady who accused us of stealing her branding. Do you remember that one?
Oh my God!
Do you remember that? Where she got an estate agency and
was
she
that during lockdown.
I think so.
Or
No, it was after.
After.
She'd got her.
So the Property Video Club.
Yeah, so we launched the Property Video Club.
One of our products is navy blue and gold branded.
So we launched the Property Video Club, and then she rebranded her business 6 months later.
Yes.
And then went on TikTok and tried to do a reel where.
Well, she made a reel. Put it on TikTok where it was hers. It was like when a competitor copies your branding, and then posted it on TikTok, and there were thousands of comments, right? Because people were like, it looks nothing like yours, this, that, and the other. And I just sent it back. If you'd like to have a conversation, that'd be super. Obviously, don't want to tread on anyone's toes, but just for reference, we launched this product in November 22. 6 months previous to you.
6 months previous to your rebrand, which I can see was done in like February or March.
So the subtext of that is we did this before you, and you've copied us.
You've copied us. But more than happy to have a conversation if you would like to. And it was posted over a weekend or whatever. Yeah. All of a sudden, all the content was gone. I only deleted. The reason I remember that is because I deleted the screenshots the other day when I was going through I think
that is one of the few.
So we just killed them kind of. So apologies if there's been anything, but obviously, we launched this in. Also, by the way, we're not an estate agent, so as a result, we're not a competitor of yours.
Yes.
And if you'd like to have a look at the internet of other companies in lots of different industries across the entire world who use blue and gold, like, I don't know, P&O Cruises, for example, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity.
We actually Googled blue and gold, didn't we? There's a lot of
companies who use blue and gold because they complement each other quite nicely.
Yeah, they're great colour sets.
So anyway, so that was one, but that went away. And then we did have a guy early doors when we did the prop show, didn't we? Who got really animated about us and was.
It's basically this, but sillier.
If you can imagine that. And he was throwing.
Chris wore a fez.
I wore a fez, and he was getting really animated, wasn't he? And we just went back to him and just killed him with kindness.
Yeah.
And then in the end, he started to be really offensive. So what we enabled the block.
I mean, if in doubt,
that's a really good noise.
Yeah.
So we just block. With impunity. That's what I would say. Like,
you did say that the other day.
Did I say that on another podcast?
Yeah, block with impunity.
Like, if someone's not adding value to your life in any way, it'd be a bit like, continuing to hang out with that mate when you were a kid that just used to punch you in the arm because they thought it was hilarious. Do you know what I mean?
They're not mates.
They're
with
not
you.
really your friend.
Yeah.
They're just some guy who's a knob.
Just
So you know who I'm talking about. Anyway,
Oh,
yeah, you know who I'm talking
just
about.
the people. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, and you know, they're not really your friend, you know, and I think that's the key bit. You know, if you're on social media, someone's giving you a load of aggravation, if they're they're not adding any value, they're just being negative or they're being offensive, block.
Yeah, actually,
block 'em
just
away.
thought of one while you were talking. A good friend of ours, Chris Brickles, Grantham Garage Door Company, phenomenal company.
Just retired from EastEnders.
Oh, Sonny Jackson. We won't put the photo up, but I love you, Chris.
I love you too. They look so alike. They could be brother and sister.
Oh, totally. Yeah, same gene pool.
Same gene pool, yeah.
Both very good at what they do.
Very good.
Yeah. But so they'd had a client, and it was a sort of slightly negative review, but on Google reviews. It was either Google reviews or Checker Trade, one of the sort of open forum platforms. And again, Chris employed very similar tactics by calmly going back to the chap, because essentially what Chris was saying to me, and it's true, that if someone leaves a negative comment on a post or like a business review site like Checker Trade or whatever, what you've got to be aware of is that all your other customers or potential customers who are doing their research on you before they make a buying decision are reading those reviews. And if one stands out or there is a negative one, and the worst thing you can do is not reply, because it's just there. It's like standing out because it's a bit prickly and it's a bit negative. Whereas actually, if you go to reply in a very calm, mild-mannered way and try and resolve the issue or whatever the problem is for the potential client or whoever it was, then all the other people that are reading the other reviews that are probably 5-star and that haven't done business with you yet will see how you've resolved or tried to resolve that issue, and they will take confidence in the fact that you're not this, oh, well, whatever, you're wrong, we're right, blah, blah, blah.
I think
so,
you have to have that measure, you know. I think it's a bit, you know, when you buy something off Amazon, for example, other shopping places are available.
Like Boyer Mike's, Boya. We're not
Amazing.
sponsored, but they're great value.
Nice. Yeah, but if you buy something on Amazon, right, and you go to look at it, and there's 10 reviews on this Amazon product, and they're all 5 stars, this is amazing, whatever. You're like,
keep scrolling.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So sometimes actually having, you know, a 4-star or a 3-star review where someone has found a problem, I think customers value on. I believe in honesty, right? We're very honest as a business, but I believe that honest feedback is really important because it's the only way your business can actually improve and grow. So if you do get like a negative comment or a negative review, talking about a Google review, for example, going back to someone and we actually got a 1-star review.
Don't drag it down though.
We got a 1-star review from our friend Sue because she thought 1 was like the
best.
She like A-star number 1, and she put this beautiful review. Oh, Chris and Matt was so great. The guys made a really beautiful job of my business profile. I loved it. We've just literally done another one.
Yeah,
because it was 3 years ago. You know, we're friends for the business club. Like we filmed at her house for a set location.
Yeah, beautiful
like
house.
We're really good friends. I played golf with her husband. Like we're mates. And she's like, oh, these guys are so amazing. 1 star. And I was like, I had my message to her. I was like, Sue, thank you so much for your review. Is there any chance you could actually make the stars reflect it? Because on Google, 5 stars good, 1 star's bad. She was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she changed it.
Did you go back in and
you change it. Go back and change it. And she was like, so it was an accident. But sometimes, you know, but going back to that's just a funny anecdote. But, But if someone does leave you a 2 or 3-star review and they qualify why, right? I think it's powerful to go back and say, talking about Chris, Grantham Garage Doors, brilliant company. They came and fitted us some doors.
They did. Great job, yeah.
They did a really good job, but I wasn't happy with like a finish on a thing. On a thing.
Yeah.
It's a small thing, like really small thing. And I sent them an email going, guys, we love you. The job's amazing. The guys were brilliant.
They were, yeah.
But is there any chance you could just come and fix? There was just a bit of fascia, just to finish something off to make it look a bit nicer. And they could not have been more helpful. They could not have been
Responsive.
more responsive. They were like, oh my God, we're so sorry. I'm like, look, we're really happy. It's just, I think if we just put a bit of fascia there, it would just finish the job off and it'd look amazing. They're like, yep, totally agree. We'll get a guy out to you. They were here next day.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
And that little bit of work, and it looks $1 million.
Yeah, yeah.
But it wasn't, and that's not a criticism of them. Something wasn't quite 100%. Now it is. But they were so quick and keen to make it. And I think if you give people the opportunity, go back to them and say, look, Mrs. Miggins, love Mrs. Miggins, Blackadder joke. You know,
I'm waiting for the day where you don't say
Mrs.
to the rest of the audience, that's a Blackadder joke.
Yeah, because I'm old now. Like, younger audiences go, who's Mrs. Miggins? Like, Blackadder third. But yeah, but Mrs. Miggins goes on, and she wasn't 100%. If you can resolve her problem and go back, underneath that, she could put a follow-up saying, I left a review. I wasn't 100% satisfied, but Matt,
The aftercare was amazing.
Matt,
yeah.
Chris, Alex, Nick, whatever, came back to me, addressed my concerns, fixed the problem, and I tell you, and they were so good at doing it, I cannot recommend them enough. They didn't get it right 100% the first time, but they made damn sure they got it right in the end. And as a consumer, I'd be like, well, that is great. That gives me huge buying confidence.
Almost more than, they've done what they said they were going to do.
Well, when I had Grantham Garage Doors out to my house,
yes,
I'd got a choice, and this leans into a bit of price, right? I had a couple of quotes. There was someone online, and I had a look at their reviews, and they were like, yeah, fantastic product. But then underneath, it was like, really great product, but stopped working after 6 months, can't get hold of anyone on the phone. Stopped working after 9 months. They refused to come out and fix it because they said it had been in situ for
out of warranty.
It was out of warranty, this, that, the other. And so I went back to Grantham Garage Doors, and I was like, can I do this? You know, whatever. And I had an issue. I did have an issue, and it wasn't their fault. It was the people who manufactured the door, whatever. Honestly, they were so good, like so good. And I think how you deal with problems, how you resolve issues, is way more powerful than never having any in the first place. Because no one's perfect 100% of the time.
Never,
no one is perfect 100% of the time. There are always going to be little things, and you'd far rather know. Yeah, because you want to keep the customer. And I've now actually used Grantham Garage Doors 4 times.
And we'll continue
and I've recommended them to a dozen.
Well, they fit as a flood door.
Yeah, perfect.
Because we know the work's going to... Anyway.
Yeah, either way. But what I'm saying is, like, I think negativity can kill them with kindness, respond to the complaint.
We make a great point. If you can respond to the complaint visibly online, like on a review Google platform or Check a Trade or whatever it is, in this case, then it gives your potential customers the opportunity to see, like you just said there, how you are in the aftercare part as well, because things do happen, like, you know.
So your top tips if someone leaves a negative review.
Top tips, leaving a bad review. Tip number 1, wait till the morning, sleep on it, because you don't want to respond straight away in case you're emotionally charged. Tip number 2, kill them with kindness when you do go back to them. Thank them for a review. And is there anything I can do? Tip number 3, block with impunity.
Yeah, if you resolve the problem, or they're being offensive or aggressive, it's not adding any value, and it's become untenable.
Well, because if we're talking true keyboard warriors and trolls that are like professional trolls, these people will just they just will hang around and like just randomly, sporadically post comments on loads of your different content and actually do it for a laugh, when actually, if the wrong person sees it at the wrong time, then it could cause detriment to your business or not getting it. So
you can turn the comments off on YouTube.
Yeah. So, and you don't know these people, like, do you really care what, you know, we always say, like, Jenny_63 from Southampton thinks if you don't live in Southampton and she's never used your service. Like,
it's actually Derek, who lives in a basement in Sutton-on-Sea.
Oh, is it? Desert?
I don't know.
Could be Desert. I've not seen him in years. Top tips, 1, 2, 3, happy days. That was good. I like that one.
Yeah, thanks.
Maybe I'll pose you a question next time.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. See you next episode. We know who's going to be on. You don't, so tune in.